Hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all doing great. Hope y'all doing amazing. Because I know I am. Uh, is the music playing? I can't hear it very well. Here we go. How's y'all doing? Hope y'all doing great. Hello, my name is Chad. I'm a motion designer. And I'm doing illustration. I'm learning to draw every day just to prove to people that it ain't that hard. It really ain't that hard. You just got to do it every day. And today marks the 100th day of me doing this, which is quite insane because throughout my whole life, I've never really stuck to something. Like, I've never picked up something and really stuck to it. Even drawing, even though like I really like drawing, I was such a perfectionist that I hated most of the drawings I did. Like some of the drawings I did were all right. In fact, they were good, and that's the only reason why I kept them, just because they were good. I didn't like most of the drawings that I made, and that's why I kept going on and off, and I spent like literal years not drawing a single thing. Um, but yeah, this is 100 day. 100 day. This is like more than 3 months. We're aiming for a whole year, so look out for that. And yeah, I'm very thankful for the people who watched me, for the couple of for the literal couple of people who watched me. Uh, yeah. So today, okay. What I'm planning to do is I'm going to start making. I'm gonna make like another thumbnail for the videos. That's one. That's one thing. Another thing, I'm going to today. I feel like I'll just kick back, but I'm not really gonna kick back. I'm just gonna write this. Uh, ask me to draw anything. Uh, I'll give it my best and send it to you or something. No, I'll give it my best. There. Yeah. So in the meantime, I'm just going to try to make a thumbnail for the 100th time of us doing this. So da, da, da. Let us literally disable everything. Where is this coming from? This is it, right? Okay. Mm. Let's make it another color. Let's make it yellow. Is that apparent? Is the writing like clear? I don't know if it is. Let's check it. Da, da, da. Dun, 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 dun. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. I sound great. We can disable this. We have an empty canvas that we can draw on. We can literally draw everything and anything. Let's pick this up. Boom. Bada beam. Bada boom. Here we go. All right. No, okay, so we're going with a thicker brush. We're going crazy with this one. There's Cal's Ultimate Pastel Palooza. Ooh, okay, this is fun. Mm. Nah, I feel like that's too much. Okay, maybe we'll go with something else. Maybe we will go with... Oh, these are my brushes. Oh my god. Dude, this is so satisfying. Okay, let me stop playing around. This one kind of sucks. Okay, there's a lot of noise outside. Special effects brushes. We don't want that. Does this work? I want something like that feels gritty. I don't know where they went. Where the hell are the brushes? Mega pack. Oh, it's in here. It's in here. Drawing box, ink box, FX box. Okay. Here we go. Alright, we can make this smaller. Okay. And then we can either apply a stroke to this, a stroke so thick. Okay. Size. Oh, we can easily do that. That's very easy. We can apply multiple strokes. That's what we're gonna do. That is what we are going to do. So this one, okay, let's pick a color palette. Let's pick a cute color palette. Color palette. Color. Okay. Continue. Bada bing, bada boom. Come on, baby, come on. I don't care about any of that. Well. What do I like? Well. Well, okay, I like this one. We can take a screenshot, take this, dump it over here. Let's put it outside. Go back here. We're going to lock the pixels. Pick this color. Don't do that. And then we're going to do this one. And then we are going to apply a stroke. That already looks good. Apply a stroke, make it thick. And change it into one of these beautiful colors. Beautiful. Apply another stroke. Can we duplicate it? Make it thicker. Make it another color. Nope. This should be above. Oh no, I can't. Ugh, this is annoying. I can't change the order of the effects. I should be able to. That's okay. We can delete. What the f. Okay. Alright, stop messing with me now, Photoshop, right? We'll change this one. Change its color. It's not gonna appear. Good. And then raise it from there. Good. Now add another one. Go back here. Pick a color. Probably make it like something like this. Oh no, I can't go any further? Aw, that's lame. That's lame. Okay, that's fine. We'll go with these two. Copy it. Rasterize it. Whoa, what happened? Raster? What the? Oh, no. Rasterize layer styles. Yep. Alright. Sweet. Then we can go with another stroke. Very amazing. This one would be like this. All right. We'll wipe this one and this one. Okay, add another one. Go here. Ask me to draw anything, brothers. Go here and do this one and expand it. And then we can stop here, rasterize layer styles, and then go back to with another stroke. This time it's going to be this one. There we go. And then after that, it's going to be this one. Here we go. And then we can add a little bit of no. Don't do that. What the stop, bro. What is happening? Are you kidding me? There we go. Damn. Alright, and then with the same brush, which is this one, okay, we will draw some shapes. Here we go. On another layer, we can pick, like, maybe we can go with a dark color. This here, we can go something like this, you know, dark. Here we go. Do we want to go geometrical or freehands? I don't know how to freaking freehand a star. What? No, wait, hold on. I can do it. Amazing. Just beautiful. There we go. Look at that. I think F10 expand is currently not available. Oh, okay. Stop. What do we go with? This one? This here? Nuh-uh. Magic wand, maybe? There we go. F10. There we go. This is a star. And then we can draw a circle, or half a circle, or a croissant. Same thing, go here. Actually, we're going to take this to another layer. Boom, 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 boom. Control X, Control V. Here we go. We can make it another color. Lock the pixels, let's pick this one right here, and then make it dark. It's gonna basically be the same color, so let's pick another one. Let's pick one of the warmer ones. There we go. And this one's gonna be this color. Sweet. Dude, I could have made them like sort of like behind each layer. That would have been fun, but that's okay. Brush. What other shape can we use? We can draw like something, huh? We can draw something like this. Connect them. Is this an L? No, not L. What is the shortcut for this one? W, okay. W, 10, lock the pixels, pick a color, make it dark. Here we go. Here we go. Alright, I think this is enough. I think we can play around with these. 10, 10, 10. This one's right here. This one's right here. We can make multiple. Actually, I think I'm gonna make them white. I'm not liking how dark they are. W, my brother Joe, how you doing? This is white. This is white. This is white. This is white. And this is white. We can apply some like drop shadow to them. Make them more interesting. I don't know, maybe some glow. I think we can, the stars are enough. The stars are like doing the work. Put in the work, put in the hour, and take what's our. Here we go. Alright, drop shadow. Let's see. Let's see. Drop shadow, baby. That's too much. That's too much drop shadow. That's too much distance as well. That's too much spread. It's too much. Okay, size is no. We can. If only, bro. If only. Okay, actually, I like this effect. Yeah, we can apply it to this one, and this one. What the? Come on now. Okay, thank you. All right. Export. 100 days. And let's change the thumbnail of the stream, baby. This is fun. I haven't gotten this. Bro, Joe, suggest me something to draw. Like anything, bro. Make it as absurd as you want. Like, I'm up for the challenge. Mr. Beast! Mr. Beast! I'm good, man. Do as you wish. Man, stop playing. This is like the purpose of this is what I'm asking for. Just give me anything. Mr. Beast. 100 days. Here we go. See, that looks cute, doesn't it? Do I draw Mr. Beast? You just say the word, man. Just say the word. Mr. Beast. Alright, we're done with this. Man, I didn't think this is going to be this freaking boring. I want suggestions, like... Oh. I want suggestions. I want to draw something. Like, I want... Okay, if you... I think you can gather more people if you SEO the live stream. I guess... I don't know how to SEO the live stream. You know what? Let's look that up. How to SEO a live stream. How to improve your videos. SEO. Target keywords. I've tried that. I've tried using like Photoshop, drawing, tag. Sure. Okay. Well, where is drawing? Drawing. Is it in the actual... Wait, hold on. Oh, the tag... Okay, here's my tags. Here are my tags. I got drawing in my tags. I got motion design, I got illustration, I got animation, I got graphic design, digital art, creative process, After Effects, art tutorial, design inspiration, live stream, drawing, art, drawing tutorial, Photoshop, and Adobe. These are like my tags. Drawing is better. I have like I have that tag. If you put only draw, there will be just sweepstake draws. Yeah, no. I do use drawing. Also, maybe on the title of the video is the description. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Draw. I've got like a whole paragraph talking about like drawing and everything. I'm sorry. Let me put this on focus mode because I cannot focus with the phone. It's really weird, isn't it? How we're literal slaves to our phones. Like a notification we run after like a freaking dog. Or maybe that's just me. Couldn't find you on the drawing search. What? What? Okay. Maybe. Okay, I can. Wait. Here's what I can do. Drawing for 100 days. Here we go. Save. I search drawing and sort by newest. Okay. Let's try it now. Let's try it now. Maybe I will change the name of the streams. Maybe the title of like the series. I'll include the word drawing in it. Maybe that would be more fitting actually, because I feel like I'm not doing illustration yet. I'm just learning. Malala Yousafzai. Okay. Drawing. I'll look up drawing live stream. Live stream. Okay. I don't show up. Maybe on direct. Among Us. Dude, I look up drawing live stream and I find Among Us. Among Us. So lo-fi hip hop. Okay, drawing. Okay, search by newest. Let's try that. Where am I? I can't find myself. This is actually interesting. What the hell is this, bro? Also, I think your latest video about 30 days of drawing is pretty good for gathering more people. Yes. Yeah. So, I was planning to make a video like that every 30 videos. Yeah, every month, basically. But you know, I wasn't able to. Or, you know, I'm just saying excuses, just yeah, you could say I wasn't able to. A lot of things changed. A lot of things happened. What is the title of my stream? I'm gonna take my title like verbatim and look it up. Motion designer does illustration. Okay, I'm just gonna look that up. See if that pops up. Okay, where the frick am I, bruh? Okay, I mean, I don't expect myself to pop up in like the 5 first search results, but god damn. Why am I... What the hell is this? Okay, wow. Alright, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, bro. Twitch is preferable. That's true, but I feel like... I don't know. I feel like if you're like beginning from zero on Twitch, that's also true. I feel like if you're not beginning from if you're beginning from zero on Twitch, you're gonna have like a really hard time growing up. Or maybe I'm not. I haven't tried it. But most YouTubers use it as like they do YouTube first, they make like a community, and they take that community to Twitch. You can nuke afterwards. What does nuke mean? What do you mean by that? Motion designer does illustration. Delete channel and start over? Huh? No. No. I don't want that. Do I sound like Deku? No. I don't want that. Dude, these search results, oh, here I am. Here we go. But dude, this is crazy. Like, bro, if you look this up, this exact thing, if you look that up, bro, look that up in YouTube and look by you know, go to on the, I don't know, like live streams on direct. I have that. The search results are insane, bro. Like, I don't know how you get that from searching motion designer does illustration. It's crazy. YouTube is crazy. If you dig deep enough, YouTube can get very crazy. Jeez, man. Or matter of fact, don't look it up, actually. Why am I sending you that? Don't look it up. Better not to. Wild, bro. Wild. All right. Well, Joe, do you have like any videos, any video that we can watch, be it like a tutorial or just like drawing related in general, or anything we can do to celebrate 100 days? I mean, bro, I had nothing. Uh, I had nothing prepared for this occasion. I feel like I should have, but I have nothing. And I thought like the ask me to draw anything is gonna work, but Joe doesn't want to suggest something to draw. Joe, if that's a real name. Have you seen the Marco Bucci? I think I know who you're talking about. Marco. Yeah, I've seen like one or two of his videos, not a lot. I became a pro artist with no art school and no talent. I haven't seen that one. You want us to watch this one? That one? 3 million views. Do we watch that one? I bet.
This is the sketchbook that got me rejected from art school. In
Okay.
2000, I was graduating high school, applying to colleges, and I wanted to go to Sheridan College, which at the
Is this too loud?
time had a
I'm
really
not gonna
renowned
be speaking when the video. Now I'm a reaction channel? Yeah. Sure, that can take a turn. Okay. Is this too loud? Was it too loud or is it good? Okay, it's good. All right.
This is the sketchbook that got me rejected from art school. In 2000, I was graduating high school, applying to colleges, and I wanted to go to Sheridan College, which at the time had a really renowned animation program. They required a portfolio, though, and I couldn't really draw. This was about the level of my drawing at 19 years old. That's my name. I think you can tell by the way I drew that I was trying to copy other art. You know, I didn't really understand it yet. Now look, I don't want to laugh at my 19-year-old self. This kid had hope. He just didn't have skill. Part of Sheridan's portfolio was a life drawing assignment. This is probably my first ever life drawing. Oh yes, Sheridan wanted us to draw a room in perspective. I had no idea how to draw perspective. The other assignment was they gave us a character design and had us draw expressions. This here is a tracing of the character they provided, and then that's my expression sheet around it. I was trying. I really tried. I sent them scanned copies of this portfolio, and of course you know you don't get into a school when the envelope you get back is this thin. So yeah, I didn't get into Sheridan College. So that was 2000. Fast forward now 17 years, and Disney asked me to paint the book version of their Nutcracker film, and they wanted me to do it in my own painting style. I got to be brushy and expressive and do everything I love. I had so much fun working on these illustrations. The room is in perspective. Here's one of my favorite paintings from the book. This page here was more refined, more of a standard portrait. I had to use 17 years of art experience to get these poses just right. And of course make them look like they had form and light and texture. Obviously I learned a lot of lessons between this and this. And in this video I want to account for them. Where I learned things, when I learned things, and how I apply them to my work as a professional. This is some of my early CG work. It got me accepted into Ryerson University in Toronto. I did their film studies program. There was no drawing though. So my university was here, and as luck would have it, I discovered that just up the street was a life drawing studio. Now, when I was younger, I did not know that it was possible to learn how to draw. I thought you had to be born with it, a talent, and I didn't have the talent. That's why I was doing all the CG stuff in the first place. I figured I can't draw, maybe I could do art on the computer. Does anyone remember this viral animation from 1999? This piece landed Victor Navone his job at Pixar. When I went to his website, I was kind of dismayed to see that he could draw, but he also recommended taking life drawing classes, which he was doing to help with his animation. Now, when I went for my first life drawing session, nude model posing, I approached the drawings like this. You know, trying to get a finished contour right off the bat. My drawings were failures. I wish I still had some of them to show you, but I mean, you've seen this. Anyway, the guy who owned the life drawing studio was Nick Kalislian, a fantastic artist. Go check him out. After seeing some of Nick's 3 to 5 minute life drawings, it became clear that my approach to drawing had to fundamentally change. Nick showed me how his teacher, Glenn Vilpu, would draw these things called gestures. And a gesture drawing wasn't supposed to look finished or pretty. It's a method of drawing designed to quickly capture the feel of a pose. And that's it. A gesture drawing can very quickly indicate things like weight, balance, and movement. Very important features of any style of drawing. You can play with exaggerating it too. In this case, to really feel, say, the thrust of her hips, the outstretched elbow, the weight on her left leg. There are no rules to drawing a gesture. But one piece of advice I do have, when you draw a gesture, be gestural. Doing this will help you find the larger relationships within a pose. For example, the counterbalanced shoulders and hips here, and the graceful arc that connects them. Also, the related circular rhythm for the legs. And by the way, I am using the Wacom Cintiq Pro 32. What a piece of machinery. However, I only got this machine last week. For the past 20 years, I've been doing my art with this Wacom Intuos 3. Look how worn down it is. I'll talk about these tools a little more later in the video. So back to gesture. The shoulders and hips are giving me a bit of drama in this pose, but there's a lot of drama in that outstretched arm. I'll use a straight for that. Another straight to show the weight on this leg. Straights tend to portray speed or strength. So gesture captures rhythm, but what is rhythm? To me, rhythm is an abstract through line. It gracefully connects all the parts of a pose and helps ensure that together they add up to something. Gesture is present in so much good art. It just works under the surface. So I drew exclusively gestures for several months. Most of them have been long since thrown away, but here's a few I still do have. Gesture was the first real tool I had in my artistic development. Character-wise, you can explore anything with gesture, from a squirrel to a wingless dragon, to a sword-wielding warrior, to Spider-Man. Gestures don't need style. They're not finished drawings. They're just information you use to proceed. Gesture drawing doesn't necessarily look impressive. I remember telling my parents I was learning to draw and showing them my gestures, and they were like, okay. But the next thing Nick introduced me to was breaking down the figure into basic forms. We would put a piece of tracing paper over a photograph of the figure, and we would reconstruct it with boxes and cylinders. Look at how the box for the torso here captures the twist in the body. I'll throw a center line down that box to further help me understand the dimension. Then the arms we would construct with 2 cylinders. Then we would square those off. In this way, you're understanding both the roundness and the planes of the arm. Often we would draw through the geometry. See those ghost ellipses going behind the leg? And this is how we'd come up with very 3-dimensional drawings. This was part of an informal class that Nick was teaching. It was 3 hours a week for 6 weeks. It's the closest thing I ever had to art school. So, you take the gesture, you take the form, and mash them, and my drawing started looking like this. Remember, I started from here, and this is about a 3-year timeline. To get there, I want to show you a recreation of my process at the time. I'm mapping out the gesture, shoulder lines, hip lines, the rhythm that connects them, then extending those rhythms through the limbs. Then I would start working out volumes, but I wouldn't do it quite as rigidly as the demo I just showed you. I am drawing 3-dimensional cylinders and boxes, but I'm trying to respect the gesture. You know, keep it intact while adding these more rigid forms. So this is what my life drawings looked like for about a year and a half. Okay, that's actually not quite true. They looked more like this. Same philosophy, but poorer execution. That was my very first drawing done with a tablet. You see, in 2003, I was convinced I could become a professional artist. It was a huge moment for me. So I went out and bought a tablet. I chose Wacom because, hey, it's the industry standard. Trust me, I've tried them all. It is pronounced Wacom, by the way, not Wacom or Wacom. Wa in Japanese means harmony, and com, computer, harmony computer. So anyway, these drawings, done about a year later, do have one more element at play. Shapes. Shape is the fundamental that packages all the information and delivers it to the viewer in a digestible way. I studied a lot of animators' drawings in my early years. In this rough pass, look at how the attitude of the character is fully worked out in gesture. It reads perfectly. Compare that to the next pass, which has all the shapes designed. It gains sophistication, but the feeling was established before this. Let's do a little comparison. Take the arm, for example. In the gestured arm, it's almost perfectly symmetrical here and here. That's because the design hasn't really been considered yet. Now in the shape stage, we're solving a very different problem. We usually don't want repetition or symmetry, but we do want to retain a cohesive flow. Good shapes do have a flow to them. This book came out in 2001, and I was instantly obsessed with Claire Wendeling's shapes. But let's not get distracted by the cool subject matter. Take something more mundane. Perfect. I'm studying the shape by breaking my strokes into segments. There's a subtle S-curve here, followed by a hook, which is then followed by a sweeping C-curve. Another hook, another C-curve, and then a subtle S-curve at the end to mirror the beginning. It's poetry. So even though this is traced, it's a method I would use to study shapes. Here's another simple exercise. Take a basic shape, like a square, then redraw it, but a bit askew, almost like some force has been applied to it. Try it again, maybe adding a curve to one of the sides. Want that shape to look dimensional? Try adding cross contours, going over the form. This is simple, but it leads to great possibilities. My green monster character is just a circle, and these two character designs are basically inversions of each other. This is not just for cartoons either. Here's a piece I did for the Eternals. Keeping the silhouette shape clear gives you the freedom to do tons of stuff inside the silhouette. These are professional tools now, befitting a professional setup. Say hello to the Wacom 32-inch Cintiq. With the flex arm, of course. A manual. I'm sure it's helpful. So you remove this tab, and the cables go in like this. Wait, what? Oh, this comes out first and then wraps. Got it. What the heck? Okay, cables go through this, do the wrappy thing, and screw it in. This is a heavy-duty bracket. Hey look, I'm an auto mechanic. This part's satisfying, watch this. Oh, I love that. I don't, however, love this. Okay, so stop rolling the cameras, change my son's diaper, and here's my final setup. This is where I make my living, and Wacom has always helped create a comfortable creative space. And after 20 years, I swapped out my old Intuos for an Intuos Pro. And check this out, I can use the same pen on this device and this one. That is fantastic. Alright, back to shapes. You can use shapes in a thematic way. Take this chunky baby. That's my daughter. The shapes are mostly round. Basing your shapes on a theme can help you arrive at a good design. That big guy there was designed around squares. This was for a children's book project I did around 2012. They're all squares, but they've all been warped in different ways. Different sizes, too. The variety helps minimize the repetition. I first gained an appreciation of this from Lilo and Stitch in 2002. Chris Sanders brought his signature round shapes to the entire movie. It's a stylistic choice, but one that's derived from life's visual lessons. This, on the other hand, is not a successful example of shape design. One of the biggest critiques I have of this is the marshmallow effect. It's caused by repetitive symmetry. See, nature almost never does that. Instead, you'll see what I call offset symmetry. I'll trace the curves of the calf muscle, plot the apex points, and shoot a line through them. The symmetry happens on the diagonal. In the Lilo and Stitch style guide, there's a warning against obvious symmetry. There's two solutions to it. You could offset the symmetry, as in this example here, or you could put two totally different lines up against each other, a curve versus a straight. The eye just likes variety, and every artist I've ever studied has the curve versus straight thing in their visual vocabulary. But it's not the curve or the straight that's important. It's this part, something versus something. How about this matchup?
Contrast.
Here's a beautiful piece by Loish. Look how simple this side of the silhouette is, compared to what's going on this side. That stuff doesn't just happen by accident. You have to really think about how to design it. This was for an animation character design job I did around 2017, and to this day I start with some form of gesture. However, your shapes can go 100 different ways from there. Just because you have a workable gesture does not guarantee you'll have a good drawing. So as I'm putting down these lines, I'm exploring the something versus something idea. That's why the lines are going in segments, like I did with the Claire Wendling shape study. I'm trying to figure out the puzzle piece by piece. This is a problem-solving part of art that I really enjoy, and I've learned to take my time in solving it. See, a beginner's work virtually always lacks that type of exploration, and there's a stiffness that results. The solutions I came up with here include slim at the top, wide at the bottom, creating little hooks to break up an otherwise continuous line. I'm offsetting the symmetry in 4 different places. I'm also trying to connect different areas of the drawing with hidden rhythms, and just generally trying to avoid any sense of obvious repetition. And again, all of this applies to more realistic art as well. Check out this page I did for the Nutcracker. There's a gestural rhythm going through it, tracking the shoulder line, even tried some thematic rhythms to help unify the piece. If you're feeling really cheeky, you can take an overall gestural rhythm, a line of action, and just use it as one of the contours. I'd say this line here represents the gesture in this drawing, so I'll just move that line out here and start building up my study of it. As far as I remember, this is a discovery I made on my own. I'm not saying I invented it, but it only came to me after probably a few years of working with the concept of gesture. You need time to see how these things can apply to your art. Just because you learn something one day, it doesn't mean you can apply it the next day. So if you're just starting learning art and you're learning all these new concepts, my advice is give it some time to truly sink in and seep its way into your work. To me, this is where anatomy comes in. Anatomy is full of rhythms. I just love how the serratus muscle fans into the external obliques. Anatomy can piggyback on basic forms and add a whole lot of sophistication to your drawing. But I don't recommend putting anatomy at the forefront of your study too soon. I didn't dive into anatomy for several years, and I think my understanding of the more basic fundamentals benefited from that. So when I finally did start breaking open the anatomy textbooks, I kind of had a hierarchy in place to plug it into. This is another page from the Nutcracker book. Let me zoom in on the figure here. Look at this arm. It's outstretched, but it's not just straight. It's got some action to it. Anatomy will teach you that the arm has a chain link rhythm. Each muscle group is one link of the chain, but then I also bent the chain as driven by a simple gesture. So the painting of it was really derived by drawing. Ah, painting. Kind of a whole new can of worms. And we'll break it open in the next installment. I want to thank Wacom for their generous support and being there for my whole art career, as well as a big thanks to my patrons. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Man, this is just exciting. Like to see a person doing this. Even if Wacom is overpriced, it's still the flagship. Yeah, I mean, eventually maybe we will get as well. But yeah, this is very it's exciting and reassuring to see a person who considered himself like with no skill. Okay, hello. Who considered himself with no skill, and to see like the progress, to have like some tangible progress. I bet it feels amazing for him, but it feels really great to see as well, and it also feels great to see that it took them that many years. For the longest time, I mean, I don't feel this way anymore, but for the longest time, I feel like if I didn't get or learn something in a short period of time, then I'm probably bad at it, which is absolutely not the right way to think about things. But yeah, I think as you grow, maybe, I don't know, you learn that things take literal years, and that is okay. If it's worth it, it will take some time. That is okay. All right. Ooh, I have 15 more minutes before I end stream. Is there like any other video that we can watch that maybe I can benefit from? That we can benefit from? Art is a sport. Dr. Draw. Is this good? Is this good? Don't know, just explore boy. Alright, fuck it.
Yeah, baby.
Hey,
Bro. Alright. I can't go one stream without saying it, I guess. My art section. Okay, sure. Blizzard.
I began my art journey when I was 19 years old. That's not exactly early. These are drawings I did when I was 19 years old, in high school. Those were done for art class. Here's a watercolor painting I did for that same art class.
Not bad.
I actually wanted to go to art school in college to improve, but the artwork in my portfolio got me rejected from art school. So I had to learn on my own. Fast forward now, about 20 years, and I'm doing stuff like this. This is a sergeant study in oils. Today I get hired by big studios like Wizards of the Coast, Disney, Marvel, Blizzard. It's come to the point now where I'm turning jobs down. I got from this to this without formal art school. And in this video, I want to show you the path I took. You know, it's fun to look back at old pieces like this, but I don't want to make fun of it. I remember what I was thinking when I painted it. I was thinking that I had a lack of command over drawing. In my previous video, I talked all about how I learned to draw from scratch. Now, this video is about painting, but painting starts and ends with drawing. And it was a guy named Nick Kalislian who first showed me the ropes. Among other things, Nick showed me the power of good shape design. His shapes always felt so flowy and friendly to draw, which I've come to learn is the mark of a professional. These are some of Nick's 3 to 5 minute life drawings. That's fast. And yet you can see the emphasis on clean shapes. My early life drawings had shapes too, I guess, but there was no thought given to their design. That is the mark of a beginner. When you watch a professional artist draw, you'll witness care for every shape. Jin Kim is going over and over this shape as if to convince himself that this is the best design for it. You know, there's a straight and there's a curve, and they go exactly like this. Every shape along the way receives the same attention, and that's what gives a drawing like this its professional
This is
look.
interesting. Jim Kim. Not Jimmy Kimmel. Not Asian Jim. What? Animator Jim Kim Songjin interview. Drawing better, faster.
There are essentially 3 building blocks to a shape. You can have a straight, a C curve, or an S curve. Captain Hook's left arm there is made up of all 3. You got a straight here, a C curve here, and an S curve here. His nose is
Wow, that's interesting. That's very interesting because the palm of the hand is almost the same thing, isn't it? We have a straight. We can treat this as a straight, right? And we have an sort of like, what do you call it? A
curve or an S.
Yeah, a straight, a curve, and maybe a C curve here. If we include the triangle of the thumb, something to think about.
Curve. Captain Hook's left arm there is made up of all 3. You got a straight here, a C curve here, and an S curve here. His nose is a shallow C curve, followed by a sharper C curve, followed by a straight, C curve, straight, straight, C curve. So it was around 2002, 2003, that's 2 to 3 years into my drawing journey, that a lot of my studies looked like this.
Wait, okay, I'm gonna look these up, these artists, because this is very interesting. You know what I should start looking up? Actual, like, Disney and actual, like, animators and artists. Well, not animators, I guess. Dean Eagle? Is that it? Dean Eagle. Scribblings. What is this? Spider Gwen? Man, this is 7 years ago.
Recreating art that I liked, but with an emphasis on understanding the underlying shape language. I studied a lot of animation style work because the shapes are
Sanders. Okay. Animation. Oh, interesting. Wait, he's just racing over this one. Oh, what? What is this? 7 years ago. 2 years ago.
are so distilled and made plainly obvious in that medium. Then I would apply that by creating designs from my imagination. This is not the best drawing ever, but it's a quantum leap from these drawings done just 2 years prior. Can you see the lack of interest in these shapes here? For the most part, they're just symmetrical. Then down here in the legs where maybe you want some continuity, one side is round, the other side is straight, and the flow between them is awkwardly broken too. Whereas this drawing has a continuous rhythm from one part of the body to the next. That helps make things easy to read. The symmetry is also less obvious by being offset, and there's more variety in the way the shapes are built. You know, more thought given to the straights versus curves visual vocabulary. I've come to learn that painting has 4 overall fundamentals to it, and shapes, that's arguably the most important one. The next thing I began to appreciate is that light and shadow shapes are shapes too, and likewise, they need to be designed. Looking at these shapes isolated, you can tell they share the same DNA, which helps them to fit the piece that they're part of. I applied these ideas to my own art, and I was excited when it started to work. The level of this drawing isn't professional yet, but I could see clear progress happening. It was right around this time that I realized, despite my beginnings, I could probably become a professional artist. So I went out and bought myself a tablet. Today I have the Wacom Intuos Pro in conjunction with the Cintiq 32-inch, on the flex arm of course. But I just got this a couple months ago. For the past 20 years, I've been doing all my digital art with this, an old Wacom Intuos 3. Look how worn down this is. I guess I should give this away or something at this point, but honestly, I'm too emotionally attached to it. Wacom and this tablet in particular have been with me for over a 20-year journey now. Okay, so I learned a lot of drawing principles from cartooning, but I also wanted to be able to paint realistically. And one of the biggest mental hurdles I faced was the question, what makes this different than this? Okay, obviously they're different styles, but fundamentally, what's the difference? Because there are some shapes here, and there are some shapes here, and when I jumble them up, I bet you can't immediately tell which was from where. You know, it's not like one shape is realistic and one is cartoony. They're all abstract. It came to the point where I was forced to conclude that fundamentally, these things are the same. In order to prove it to myself, I isolated all the shapes from this Sargent painting. I sampled their average grayscale value and paint bucket filled them just like a cartoon piece. This comparison already looks good. And when I zoom out, the raw shape version is like 90% of the way there. What's missing, of course, is the complexity that edges give it. And that's all I'm doing here to arrive at a finish. On our list here, edges come after shape, and let's break them down quickly. I have a simple shape with a value, that's step 1. Then you go in and adjust the borders of it. In other words, how the edges meet what's next to them. Some edges can be softer, some harder, they don't have to be the same. What is generally important though, is that the shape retains its simple design. The core shape here still looks like this, despite all the softening I just did. Now sure, edges create more values, but don't get fixated on that. That's a byproduct. A professional artist, whether it be in drawing or painting, has the skill of being able to keep the shapes simple no matter how complex the subject. And many subjects are extremely complex, such as this little scene in my own backyard. I challenged myself to sketch it from life just a few weeks ago, and this is what I came up with. Like any sketch, it contains both success and failure. But my point is, more than 20 years into my art journey, I'm still working out how to best simplify and design shapes. I feel like this sketch could be improved by merging the shapes a little more, thereby creating stronger big shapes. You want to have enough small shapes to create detail, or at least the illusion of it, but it's the design and distribution of the bigger shapes that really does the heavy lifting. So here's the original sketch, and this is what I think I should have done. I have tons of these sketches. This is like 2 years worth. I think it's important to sketch from life. You don't necessarily want a camera pre-filtering things. You want to be the filter. When you're out there in real life, you allow other senses to filter into the work. I feel like the noise of this traffic played as much of a role in the painting as the visuals did. Or the calmness I felt sitting near this bridge on a beautiful Sunday morning helped imbue the sketch with its calm feeling. This is the first sketch I ever did outdoors. I bet you can't really tell what it is. That's because I was completely overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by shapes, colors, people passing by. This abject failure taught me the importance of engaging with your subject directly from life. Now I can do a life sketch like this in about half an hour. The buildings are not very important. I was focusing on the boats. The buildings only registered in my peripheral vision, which really influenced the shapes, edges, and color. I want my sketches to both look like the subject, as well as capture my experience of it. Of course, I still use photo reference a lot. This is a book I painted for Disney's The Nutcracker. I had lots of photography of the actors, the sets, all of which I extensively referenced to create these illustrations. But here's the thing. It's my experience with painting from life that allows me to bring life to what I reference from photos, whether it be softening an edge, or adding a color accent, or maybe a flurry of brushstrokes. The camera won't necessarily give those things to you. There needs to be an intuition at play that I got from painting from life. And by the way, I do use both of the Wacom tablets together. And here's my favorite part. I can use the same stylus on either device. That is just so great, and I recommend Wacom tools to any artist. Now, there is one extremely important fundamental that I've kind of been glossing over until now. Value. Value presents a difficult task to most beginners, including me when I was a beginner, because there are lots of values. The way you reduce this complexity is by breaking up that scale into groups, from which you can pick averages. These two DVDs here taught me this. They both kind of changed my life, really. This one's by Morgan Weisling, and it focuses on painting people. This one's by Scott Christensen, and it focuses on painting landscapes. As you can see, I've had this DVD for a while. Despite the very different subject matter, both artists preach the same approach to value organization. That is, starting by reducing your subject to just one light value and one shadow value. Scott Christensen even goes so far as to mix these values on his palette before even painting anything. Light and shadow values are the two most important things to establish because they tell you the most information about the direction of the light, the position of the light, which are both linked to the orientation of planes in 3D space. Okay, so here's an exercise anyone can do. Take a photo of yourself with just one light source, throw it into grayscale, then go into your filters. I'm using Photoshop here, but you could recreate this in any app. What we're trying to do is isolate the light and shadow shapes. You could use a cutout filter like this, but I still find the shapes need to be simplified more. So here's a way to do it that involves your own hand in the process. I like to first start with Photoshop's angled strokes filter, play with the settings to reveal the simplest shapes possible. Then, on top of that, I'll add the dry brush filter. Again, playing with the settings to simplify those shapes. Then go into brightness contrast and play with the sliders until the values are as few as possible. Great. Now, on top of that base, grab a non-textured brush and paint into the light and shadow shapes, eliminating detail as you go and arriving at average values. What's useful here is you get to feel what it's like to paint simple, abstract shapes. Now, you can't do this with every subject matter because nature won't always give you simple shapes. But with the human head, it usually will. Our anatomy is just designed that way. When you're done, flip back and forth to appreciate the simplicity. Even trace the shapes to start building a mental catalog. Of course, the next step is to paint the picture yourself, but still using reference. And these are some of my studies over the years that I think show progress. And this is basically what the process looks like. You could start with a line drawing if you want. I do a little of that. But these days, I prefer to just find big shapes of value with a big brush and just push and pull them around on the canvas, either carving into a shadow shape with light or the reverse, carving into a light shape with shadow. The best part is, if you're only using two values, like I am on the skin here, the guesswork is gone. You can just focus on shape. Okay, if you want to add one more value, I could grab a value that's slightly darker than my average light and start describing planes that are still hit by the light, though starting to turn slightly away from it. This value is called halftone, and it's a great value for modeling form. Remember to keep those shapes clean. And now, if I just did a bit of edge work on this, things really start coming to life. Now remember, edges will create more values, but I'm not worried about that because my overall fundamentals are in place. You could spend a year of practice using only these three values. Anyway, I approach landscapes in much the same way. I'm doing a Scott Christensen study here. And look at the light and shadow shapes going in just the same way they did on the portrait. The only added complexity with landscapes is you'll have different objects, trees, mountains, snow, that all have different local values. So the average light and shadow value on the snow might be overall lighter than the average light and shadow value on the tree. And throughout the process, always remember, when you put a value down, you're also putting a shape down. And it's your job not to waste them. So that's what I try and do in my professional work. This one here might look complicated at first, but look how simple my shapes are. Also, I've categorized the edges. Soft edges in the background help the hard edges pop in the foreground. Throwing the whole thing into grayscale, you can see I've also categorized the values. Higher degree of contrast in the foreground, less contrast in the background. Knowing the fundamentals we talked about.
Actually, that even applies like in graphic design. If you want something like to pop, use more contrast, or just call attention to the thing that you want to call attention to, like any way possible. Like contrast is a tool, obviously. Contrast in value, contrast in size as well. The placement, its placement on the canvas, like the composition. That's very interesting.
About here enable me to strategize like this. So there's one more fundamental we haven't talked about yet. Wow. Color. And I'll talk about it in the next video. Hey, if you like these videos, you might want to check out my 8-week art mentorship program, which I just...
Okay. This is very informative. I feel like I can spend a lot of time. Like I always said this. Oh my god. Freaking mic. Hello? I always said that there's a fine line to walk between gesture and structure. Okay? And I think the way to do it is to practice gesture for a really long time alone without including structure, and then include structure and then practice structure alone and then merge them together eventually, right? It's a personal path. Yeah, but I feel like if it worked for a person, then it's worth trying. Whatever feels intuitive or interesting. If it worked for a person, I think it's worth trying for. Yeah, if it's worth trying. If it didn't work for me, then sure, I'll pick like something else, another way to do it. But yeah, this is very fun. Um, Gesture and structure. Yeah. Even like trying to think about I did swap between them as needed. Yeah, yeah. Even like thinking about the way I'm trying to draw my hands now. Well, that's not a food for thought. That's a food for thought. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you. But thinking about the way I'm trying to draw hands now. I almost always, well, not almost always try to pick up the details and like how the fingers are going to be drawn and everything. And I almost always forget like the big picture, how the shape of the fingers is or how the shape of the palm is. I always jump to structure because I feel like that's always what's going to make the drawing better. I feel like if it's anatomically correct, then it's inevitably going to look good. But no, gesture is very interesting. I feel like gesture is one of the things that I'm not practicing very well. That gesture and actually using my whole arm. So I think the right step for me now is to focus on these two things. The actual gesture of the stuff that I'm drawing and using my whole arm, which is going to be very interesting. And you can go more technical anytime, but the bigger picture is 80% of the way. Yeah, that's exactly, exactly. I want to get that 80% of the way. Um, have you seen how he draws? Yeah, 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 yeah. Just the bigger shapes first, and then add the detail. I feel like I've gotten that advice from many places. Not just this video, not just like any other video on YouTube. I've gotten a lot from the course I took on Skillshare from Brent Eviston. Um, it's not necessarily extreme. Yeah. Uh, but yeah, for some reason I always jump on detail. I think with practice I will just like tone it down a little bit, and I will get used to drawing with a whole bigger picture in mind first. But yeah, I think drawing the bigger picture, and then and at the same time trying to draw with the whole shoulder. I think those two go hand in hand. Uh, oh, do I let this sink in? Do I go right now? Is it at the door, or is something to think about every day, every time? That is true. That is true. That is true. I also do graphic design, like, as in, like, for my job. Oh, I thought I should let the sink in. Oh, my bad. And I do think about graphic design a lot, and I catch myself looking at like billboards and the composition that they use and the colors that they use and everything. So that I feel like that consumes a part of my thought as well. Can even hear you. How would I hear sync? Bro, can you not hear me? Like this is weird. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Oh, I see what you mean. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I see what you mean. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I see what
Okay,
you
this
mean.
is making a loop.
Okay, what about now?
Hello,
Hello, hello. Okay, what about now? Hello, hello. What is happening? Why is this loopy? Oh, let me close that. Sometimes it's muffled. No, it's clip. It's the clip one is actually better. Okay, I don't know if this works or not. I should probably maybe look up something else to use as a mic. Maybe look up something else to use as a mic. Maybe look up something else to. Okay. All right. Anyways, this was very fun watching this. Even though I didn't get to draw anything, my boy Joe over here didn't want to suggest anything to draw. But that's okay. Just watch whatever I say. Just watch whenever I say bad mic. Lol. My boy Joe over here doesn't want to suggest what to draw. That's okay. I'll draw Mr. Beast, but not today though. Yeah, thank you for sticking with Joe and let that sink in. All right, I'm gonna go let that sink in right now. It's been waiting at the door for a really long time, and I'm just here watching YouTube videos. So I'm just gonna go let that sink in, and I may not be able to be on the next streams. No! Was it? This is like I'm late at night, so I hope hopefully I didn't wake my family up. All right, but yeah, you take care. Take care of yourself. Just try to if you have any time to say hi, just say hi. It would make me really happy. Uh, and yeah, I'll I'll make a scream that's like a silent scream. All right, I'll leave you to it, Joe. All right, peace, peace.